Leo, it's Kendrick from Providence Tarot, and I am here to give you your proofread for the second half of the month of September, September 15th through the 30th. Like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell if you're watching on YouTube. And if you are on Instagram, like and follow. I'm also on Instagram, just as me, and that's NYC Kendrick. So follow that. Okay, I'm gonna shuffle this. This is the first time. I'm gonna do it 2 more times after this. Okay, here's the second time. Definitely moving on from some things, right? Being hurt from the past, but like optimistically moving forward towards the future, you know, right? Putting the past hurt behind you, even. A lot of people are doing that right now. A lot of people got the 9 of Wands this week, so that's really happening. Okay, this is the last shuffle, and then I'm gonna lay them out for Leo. My ruling planet is in Leo, and in Vedic astrology, I have a stellium there. Okay, here we go. I believe I do. All right, so let's see what's going on for you, Leo. Prince of Pentacles. So a situation is developing, moving forward, changing slowly. So this is saying that you definitely need to have patience as well, you know, and you're just kind of like trying to gain your footing. You're trying to see how a situation changes, but you're going to have to take not a close look at it, but you're going to have to let something change and happen organically, right? Because it's Virgo. So it's talking about like, just phases and things like that, right? Let this happen gradually. Let this happen naturally. Focus on what you need to focus on right now. Make the changes in your life where you need to make them. We're going into a new season. There's new energy. So it's kind of like that, you know? I feel like you also need to, just make sure that things are going smoothly and being very consistent, right? So it's not about things going quickly or changes happening the way you want to see them right now. You know, you could be getting frustrated that things are moving slowly, but it's like, just know that they're moving slowly because they need to. You know, the Prince of Pentacles is Virgo, and Virgo only makes things the way that they are because it may have, you know, that's the diagnosis has determined that things need to go slowly, right? So we're practicing good habits. We are also being paced with ourselves. You know, it's paperwork. It's that type of thing. Bills. Okay, yeah. So the 3 of Swords is here, which is talking about being distracted by how relationships might be restricting you, restricting your progress, or you're being held back in some kind of way. You know, there's a little bit of like a naivety to a situation that has great truth with it, right? Because the 3s are related to the 3rd house of Gemini, and that's talking about, you know, maybe being naive about something, overly optimistic about something that you probably shouldn't be, because there's real situations that are showing you where there needs to be like a great deal of acknowledgement for change, you know, consideration. You definitely need to take something into consideration seriously here, right? And this is like relationships, and this is also talking about the environment, right? The environment that is created in your headspace by things that are happening, you know, around you. Okay, so it talks about your psychological headspace, your headspace up here, and how relationships are affecting that, right? It also talks about creating some safe space in your head too. So when you focus on things that need you and need your time and your attention, right, then you're less likely to get involved in things that waste your time, right? So make sure that you're not wasting your time with like a job. Make sure that you're not wasting your time with a relationship, or make sure you're not wasting your time putting too much effort or energy into something, like that type of thing, right? Okay, let me flip over the other card. All right, like I said, everybody's been getting the Nine of Wands. You have the Nine of Wands as well. I feel like this is almost everybody. So this is talking about being hurt in the past. It's talking about like injuries as well, you know. This also says like not being able to move forward, not being able to advance forward, like not even being able to like walk, you know what I mean? So it's like you can't pass go, or you feel like, you know, there is an entry or a doorway that like you don't want to let anyone through, or you can't get through, right? This is like you're very sure as well like that you might have to like, I don't know, you're protecting yourself in some kind of way. Like I said, protect your energy. And the nines are like, what am I learning now? Now you've learned that maybe you have to protect yourself moving forward. Like, what are you defending? You're defending your beliefs as well with the Nine of Wands. So I feel like moving forward, you know, you're defending and protecting your beliefs. It's either one or the other, because it's like if you're protecting your beliefs, then you're willing to defend them, perhaps. Or if you're willing to defend your beliefs, you're willing to protect them. But if you're willing to protect your beliefs, are you willing to defend them? You know what I mean? You need to do both of them. Anyway, let me continue. Yeah, the Prince of Pentacles here, like the Knight of Pentacles and the Nine of Wands, both say that things are progressing slowly. There's a little bit of reluctance, and it has to do with like relationships. And it could be like the relationships with siblings, with cousins. It could be relationships with parents here, because it's Saturn in Libra. And it talks about karmic relationships as well. Okay. Let's see what's behind the Prince of Pentacles. Yeah, the Tower. So, like I said, relationships changing, things, the foundation of relationships changing, moving forward. Things are going to be different because things have to be different. It's also related to Cancer and Libra. So it's the challenge of how my emotions affect my relationships, or how my relationships affect my emotional process. So it's like if you have to protect yourself emotionally in some relationships, then you have to do that. I'm learning that I have to do that definitely as well, with friendships, with I guess family and love, whoever you are involved with, right? Whatever people you're relating to right now, you definitely have to be consistent in protecting your energy from them, just because it's like, you know, we all have insecurities, and our insecurities are triggered by like our experiences with the world around us and other people, right? So sometimes when that's happening, we have to pull away and we have to assess what's happening. So this is talking about assessing the hurt, assessing why we might be emotionally defensive, assessing why we might have certain pain in our bodies that could be coming from, you know, just difficulties within our life. I believe in that type of shit. Right, Trinunos, which is the Devil card. So it talks about detaching from things that are unhealthy, right? And this is kind of like reflecting the Lovers, but in like more of a shadow side, right? So this is like relationships that kind of like teach us and show us what we may need to learn that we have possibly been ignoring, you know? And it could have to do with like shadow energy, right? Because the Tower is here, the Devil card is here, the Three of Swords is here, right? That's all very much like shadowy things. You know, like I said. All right, but this is good. We're finishing out with some positive energy here. So you have to be sure of yourself right now in this moment. But just you. You don't have to be sure about anybody else. You have to be sure about yourself. Because right now, we're definitely not sure about the relationships with like the Three of Swords and the Tower being here, because this is a 7, right? And this is kind of like, you know, something being restrictive, right? Or something being oppressive. It could be oppressive thoughts. You got to put an end to the oppressive thoughts, right? And you've got to be more optimistic about the future, because this is an ace and this is promise of the future, promise of a new day. You know what I mean? When this buck, right, when it gets to the other side, it'll be on new ground, right? It will learn something. It'll feel more motivated, right? When we allow ourselves to take risks that are independent of the suggestions of other people, then it shows us who we are and not what or who other people think we are, or what we can be, or what we can do. You have to show yourself that you can, right? And the Ace of Wands is like being resourceful with like your abilities, right? Use that stuff, you know? Because you can do it. It's challenging, but you can do it. You see what I mean? And you can do it on your own, right? Nobody's gonna help this bug jump across there. They might actually make it more difficult. Like if it jumped and someone pushed it, it'll probably make it fall. Like, whoa, you know what I mean? So it's like, you can do it. You can take this risk. You can take this leap. You know, it's also the power of potential, right? Asking the question, why am I doing it? What am I doing? What do I want? And believing that you can, right? And trusting that you can. You have to know, trust, and believe that you can. You know what I mean? Also, this could be like the introduction of a new job, right? Yeah, and this is kind of like maybe someone is impressing you, or maybe, you know, someone is impressed by you, you know? And the aces are talking about the proof of something. So I feel like right now you have to prove to yourself that you can do it. And that's what's going to make you feel more motivated. And that's what's going to help you in your healing process. You know, it's the power of potential with the Ace of Wands. Anyway, Leo, I think this is it for you. It started off as a little, like, careful. And it talks about things changing and not being able to turn back the hands of time, with the Tower being here as well. You can't change actions from the past, because when the Tower hits, it hits, you know what I mean? It's like you can't change what happened. And now you're dealing with like the consequences of something, or the aftermath of something, definitely, with the Trinunos card being here. Yeah. Anyway, if you'd like to get a reading from me, email providencetarotkendrick@gmail.com. Also, follow me on Instagram. It's Providence Tarot. And my personal account is NYC Kendrick. If you're watching on YouTube, like, share, and subscribe. Comment on the video and hit the notification bell.